show of force. Show of force. 5 years U.S. Air Force, medical doctor, 12-term U.S. congressman, economist with books in the New York Times bestseller.
What if the American people learned the truth? That our foreign policy has nothing to do with national security, that it never changed.
And I do believe that it's appropriate to have in our nation the capacity to detain people.
Reince Priebus is the Republican National Chairman. Months ago, he sided up with Mitt Romney. Their teams planned to steal the election from Ron Paul, and the evidence is all over the internet right now. So it's not just something being said or a rumor.
Here we are with Richard Gilbert on the line as promised. Hi, Richard.
Hi, Ian. What's important for people to know is that our case is alive. Our case is not over. We are in the Court of Appeals now, and it's not an appeal. It's a fast-moving writ. It's called a writ, W-R-I-T, an appellate writ. And it's a very fast-moving case, and we may have a ruling Monday or Tuesday. It could come very quickly. We could, the appellate court can do whatever it pleases. They could simply dismiss the appellate writ, or they could write an historic decision about the Voting Rights Act, which is the Vote Your Conscience law, that could be wide sweeping and change our political nominating process for President of the United States for all parties going forward. So it's a very important case before the appellate court. We are alive, and we're hoping to. We're just hoping for the best, of course, just like any party who would be litigating in a case.
One more thing that the RNC had done to throw off Ron Paul was to move the nomination from Thursday to Monday. Is it possible that this weather could give the appellate court a little more time?
Well, actually, the reason Romney wants to move it up to Monday is because of the appellate case. He's frightened to death of it. The RNC is a party to the appellate case, and if the appellate case comes out, if the appellate court orders that the Voting Rights Act, the Vote Your Conscience law, applies to this Republican National Convention, and then what it shows is that Romney is trying to subterfuge the law. Once again, we have Romney trying to subterfuge a law because laws don't mean anything to Mr. Romney. Law is just a problem that he needs to get around by paying money or breaking the law, doing whatever he thinks he needs to do. But if he wants to defy an appellate court, they just might come after him and certainly order that the whole nominating vote be done a second time. And that would embarrass Romney before the whole nation, and it would expose him, and more people would learn about what kind of an unethical, devious man this is, as well as the RNC. These people are parties to an appellate case, and they're trying to subterfuge it. This falls under the same heading of Romney is a serial criminal. Same thing. Now his own delegates can see it. They can see it right in front of their own eyes, especially with these new rule changes. You want to be president of the United States, but you want to be a dictator in your own party where you can change rules without a vote. You can just throw people off delegations. This man is a sociopath. He's a sociopath. It's fair to say that Romney is now a sociopath, and he may even be worse than that. This man has no ethics whatsoever. The RNC is in a court about the very nominating process, and this is how they spit in the court's face. And I'm sure that the justices will not appreciate Romney's conduct, and they'll deal with him and Priebus in due order.
I think apparently Reince Priebus made some incredible comment that they're getting along just fine with the Paul camp.
Well, we continue. Those of us who are supporters continue to be shocked and disappointed with the behavior of some of our delegates, in fact, many of our delegates who are in Tampa. You simply cannot vote for Romney. You cannot make this a unanimous nomination. You can't go from the liberty movement to a man who wants to put people in concentration camps. If you think you can do that, then you never understood the Constitution to begin with. You never understood Dr. Paul to begin with. You should never have been a delegate to begin with. So it's all of the supporters that I speak to all day long are very unhappy with the delegates that are in Tampa right now, and some of them are even talking about demonstrating against them when they return. So these delegates need to think things through. They're not there to vote for Romney. They're not there to vote for Romney at any time, for any reason, at any purpose. I mean, that would make them a traitor to the liberty movement, a complete traitor to the liberty movement. If there was another candidate that we could vote for who didn't support NDAA and the Patriot Act and things of that nature, fine, we could try to work things out. But Mr. Romney doesn't believe in freedom. He doesn't believe in the Constitution. The Constitution is just another law that gets in his way. And when it gets in his way, he discards it. So our delegates are a great disappointment to the liberty movement. Now, I don't mean all of them, of course. I'm talking about the ones that are cutting these deals, the ones that didn't bother to show up in Tampa to vote. That's a betrayal to the people that elected them. They should get on an airplane right now and get down there into Tampa and vote for Dr. Paul. That's exactly what they should do. They have no business being absent from this convention. And one calls a press conference that he's not even going to go, but he supports Romney. Well, we ought to make sure that wise guy loses his race. He wants to run for office. We should make sure he gets defeated. We don't, people who are traitors who can't be trusted. It goes right to their character. We need to make sure they never hold public office, and that's the business of the liberty movement as well.
Absolutely, and I believe there's already people who are putting together a record of the people who have betrayed the movement, and you might be referring to the man Kurt up in Minnesota, who jumped over to Romney and decided to go to the Minnesota State Fair instead of going to the convention. Or someone else. Yeah, he was elected.
He was elected to be a delegate to go vote at a convention. Why should he be elected to another office if he can't be trusted to do his duties to the office he's already been elected to? I mean, whoever is running against him should at least make that point, and the rest of us should make that point. When is the next time he's going to betray the voters? The next time he finds it convenient for himself politically? We need to defeat that guy. We need to make sure he never holds public office. We need to hold him up to everyone else who's a traitor and make sure they understand that when they betrayed Dr. Paul and the liberty movement because they thought they were going to have some political future doing it, we need to make sure they understand there is not going to be any political future for them. That's the business of the liberty movement. That is our business, and we need to make sure that happens.
Absolutely, Richard. Absolutely. Once again, thank you for making it so clear.
I just tell you, Ian, I'm hopeful to have an appellate court ruling, and there's every chance that we could have a historic ruling. There's a possibility they could dismiss it. We'll just have to wait and see.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to support Ron Paul more than ever right now. And remember, when things get hard, this is the best election ever. See you on the next Show of Force report. Show of Force.
Air Force, medical doctor, 12-term U.S. congressman, economist with books in the New York Times bestseller.
What if the American people learned the truth? That our foreign policy has nothing to do with national security, that it never changes from one administration to the next.
And I do believe that it's appropriate to have in our nation the capacity to detain people. And I do believe that it's appropriate to have in our nation the capacity to detain people.